Hello, welcome back to Simply Fit with Cheryl Sage. I'm returning with my first video post injury of a shoulder. I'm all rehabbed and ready to go. But shoulders are not our focus today. Our focus is going to be on the muscles of the hip girdle, the small muscles that surround the hip girdle. So we have two categories of muscles in the hips. We have the muscles of the hip joint, which allow us to move, the big muscles, the glutes, the hamstrings, the quadriceps, and then we have the smaller muscles that connect everything together. As we age, those tend to get a little bit out of whack as we focus only into those big muscle groups. So today, let's take a minute, do some work, and get into those littler muscles. Much of our movements today will be on 30 seconds. We will be 30 seconds on, 10 seconds rest, and then we'll repeat the movement 2 more times. We're going to work one leg at a time, and then we'll switch over to the other leg, and we'll get it all done. It'll be great. We'll feel great after that. So hopefully you're feeling good today, ready to do this. This isn't a super big calorie burner. It's not going to get your heart rate way up there, but as always, if you need a rest, take a rest. If you do the first 30 seconds and you've had enough, take a rest through the next 2 rounds. If you can keep going, keep going. All right, we're going to start out today working a bit of mobility. I'm going to get rid of the glasses. Don't need those any longer. A bit of mobility to get us warming up, activate some muscle groups, then we'll go into the body of our workout, and we'll finish with a nice stretch. We're going to move our stretch from 10 to 15 seconds. We're going to take it all the way to 30 seconds, so we get a good, nice stretch after this. But before we do that, we'll warm up. Here's your chance to grab your water. Make sure you take a sip. And turn on your music if you so desire. YouTube has a lot of rules about music, so we're just going to skip over that and go right to the workout. You can play your own music. Alrighty, we're just going to start out today with a simple rock. So you're just going to rock back and forth, down and up. There we go. Just bending at the knees a little bit. We'll have a couple rounds of these. Shoulders are back and down. Our core is engaged. We're just dropping our hips a little bit in the middle. Not too deep. Not too deep. We're not into too many squats and lunges, although we do have one warm-up set of squats today. There we go, side to side. Alrighty. Now we're going to turn to the side here, tuck our hip under a little bit, sink down just a couple inches. We're going to activate this little muscle here, this hip flexor. It's actually a little bigger than we think. Feels like it's about that big, but it's about that big. And it's one of those smaller muscle groups that we don't pay attention to, and then it gives us grief. Check out my shoulders. They're right over my hips. There we go. Just little presses down, squeezing my glute forward so I can stretch this muscle, activate it. Good deep breaths here. We're going to stand tall, take a step in. Let's pull that toe up there. Take a big breath. We'll keep our hands right here so our shoulders stay back. And we're just going to take a bow and a bow. We're just going to the point of tension and then pulling right back up, kicking our hips back towards the wall behind us here. There we go. Paying attention to our small muscle groups. In the new series I'm developing, Strength After 60. Yeah, all about us 60-somethings and beyond. All right, let's face to the center and start our rocks again. Maybe we can bend those knees a little farther this time. They've opened up. There, we keep going, keep going. We're just going to ignore that timer and keep moving here through our movement. There we go. How's your shoulders? We don't have them up here, right? We've pressed them down. Shoulders are not our target today, but we need to keep them out of the way. There we go. Does it feel good? I hope so. Alrighty, turning to face the other wall. Again, we tuck that hip under, bend our knee, scoot down a couple inches, and then we just lightly press. Light presses here. Again, shoulders over hips, knees right under that hip. And we're feeling the front of the leg, particularly around the hip area, opening up for us. We've got a hip flexor movement that's sure to make you burn a little bit. And so we want to make sure that muscle's open and ready to go for that. All right, pressing down, down. Working our balance a little bit too, right? Yeah. Taking that half step in, toe comes up, tummy in, shoulders back. Here we go. Push those hips back, pull them back under the shoulders. Push them back, under the shoulders. Back, under the shoulders. So all of our work is on the floor today. If you can't do it on the floor, maybe you could try, if you've got a super firm bed, you could try that. See what works. You can at least kick in the leg lifts and the clamshells. Yeah, we got a couple of those today. Gonna work this whole area around here. All right, facing towards the front. Legs should feel a little bit more open. We're gonna continue to warm through the bigger muscles just to send some blood flow to this area. Just taking some squats. Nice and easy. So I'm not going really deep. I'm just allowing the hip joint to do its action, pushing the hip back. Squat comes from the hip first, not the knees. So we're not bending the knees down. We're bending the hips back towards that wall. If we look down, our knees should be well behind our toes. If not, we're going a little deep. Alrighty, taking a nice break there. We're going to scoot those feet in just a little bit and take our hands behind our back, tighten up our core. I'm going to turn sideways for this one. We're going to bow down and up, down two, up two. Again, really pushing those hips back. Now we feel that stretch kind of move up a little farther in that area, getting into those muscles that we're about to activate. Get a slight bend in our knees here. Don't want to lock those knees out. All right, facing towards the front, we're just going to pump up the volume a little bit. If you want to add arms, you can add arms. But it's not an arm day, so I'm just going to keep them out of the picture for now. I'm pulling my heel up behind my thigh. I'm not going to cross here, behind the thigh. Yeah. There you go. Make sure you have your mat ready. You don't need any equipment at all, just your own body weight will work for this today. Alrighty. We're going to repeat that from the squat just to make sure that we're warm and toasty through that area. Suck that belly in, belly button to the spine, and we'll sink it down, pull it up. I'm going to go a little wider so I can get a little more depth there. Down two, up two. Don't go fast. We're not doing cardio. We need cardio, but we're not doing cardio today. So make sure you get up, get in your walk, your run, your fitness class, whatever it is you like to do for cardio. And no, it does have to be done. Okay, those legs pulled in a little bit. Shoulders are back and down. Keep my hands back there, and that keeps my shoulders nice and in place. Down two, up two, down two, up two. There we go. Exhale as I fold, inhale up. We're almost done with this warm up. We've got one more move, and then we'll get you into the body of the workout. Fold, lift. Okay, and our last move that we're going to do is that nice little hamstring curl. If we put our hands right here, we can feel the quadriceps stretching there. So that's a nice little stretch for that area in itself. Hope all has been well for you. Hope you've had a good summer. First day of fall was yesterday. All right. After this, we're going to switch out timers, take a quick drink, head to the floor, and we'll get ready for the body of that workout. Okay, great job. You should feel warm, a little sweaty, but nothing major. Probably don't even need a sweat towel today. All right, our beeper tells us we have completed our warm-up. So we're going to put that one away. And join me on the floor and we'll get right into this. We're going to start out on our side with the common leg lift, okay? We have 3 sets, 30 seconds. Let's bend this bottom leg, flex our foot, and we're going to think about leading with that heel. Don't get all unnatural there. Knee still points forward, all right? But think about leading with the heel. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Up and down. Up and down. Now you can put your head on a pillow, support with your arm, or hold it up, whatever feels best to you today. As I'm taking that leg down, note, I'm not dropping it all the way to the ground. I'm taking it to about hip level. We're going to exhale as that leg comes up, inhale down. Beautiful. Okay, we got 2 more sets of those. So let's go ahead, reset ourselves, slight bend in that knee, flex foot, heel lifted a little, and up and down we go. Set 2. This is where we should start to feel it. Can we use weights, ankle weights with this? Resistance bands, yes. But let's get those muscles slightly trained before we add any resistance. Remember, we're working the over 60 muscles. They need a bit of a different approach. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna take care of that. Alrighty, rest that leg. I'm feeling some action. I hope you are too. Big breath, flex and lift, round 3, and then we'll be done with our leg lift on this side. Next movement up, it's going to be a donkey kick. So we're going to be on our hands and knees or our hands and forearms, whichever feels best on your wrists. You can also do it while bent over, propped up maybe on a little bench or something if you can't get to the ground. Oh, that leg's getting heavy, isn't it? Ooh. Glad we're changing exercises. Okay, we are going to move into donkey kicks. So we're going to switch our timer out, adjust our hair if it's gotten in our face. We're working that same leg, so you stay on that same leg there. Oh, I'm having a rough time with the hair here. Okay, I'm going to start the timer and we're going to get into this. We're just going to lift the leg up and down. Up again, my foot is flexed. My core is turned on. So my low back has support. Look what I'm not doing. I'm not doing this. I'm not arching. Nice flat back. All the movements coming right out of my left hip joint. Right hip joint is stabilizing on the ground, so it's got a little work going too. And we'll take a little breather there. Get your breath. Stretch if you need it. But you only have 10 seconds. Straighten that back out and go. And go. We should feel this in the low back area as we lift that heel to the ceiling. And maybe the top of the glute too, the very tippy top of the glute here. Tippy top. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. I forgot to turn my fan on. Yeah, all right. Starting to feel that hip really get some action going. How about you? Okay, let's try it again. Here we go. Up, down, up, down. Now, once you master the movement, look straight ahead. You don't want to end up with a neck issue like I did from teaching classes and doing exercises looking like that. So we really want to look straight ahead there. There we go. lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Oh, squeeze, and we made it through. We're going to come back down to our sides, reset our timer, straighten out our mat. I think you can still see me there. I haven't scooted out of the picture. Okay, we're going to bend both knees. Ooh, you feeling some action there? Me too. This time we're going to keep the heels together as the knee opens. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Up and down. So up and down. Up and down. There we go. Again, head can rest on the arm. What we want to do is feel the action in this joint right here. There we go. Got the camera far enough away, I can fit all of me into the picture. I film in a very small room. Rest. Pat it out if it needs it. I film in a very small room, so there's no room to put the camera sideways. You'd only have part of me in the picture. If I'm standing, you'd have my head cut off. So that's why I do film with the camera standing straight up. It is the way it is. We're not into production quality. We're into fitness quality, right? And that's what we got right here. A little fitness quality, working our hips, taking that knee up, closing it down. Yeah. And rest. All right, we have one more round on our clamshells. And then we come to that hip flexor exercise I was talking about. We're going to take it up, down, just a little open and close like a clamshell. Nice steady breathing. I would exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. But whatever breathing pattern works for you. Resting right on that hip. And we're there. Okay, we're working with that same leg, This time, we're going to lean back or sit up tall. We're going to flex our foot, reset our timer again. And we're going to pretend there's a little block here. We're going to lift our foot over that block. This is our toughest one. If it gets too tough, lean back or lean all the way down. If it's too easy, sit up straight. Choose your poison. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Going over that block. Up and over. So we got our adductors, our abductors, our gluteus medius. We're working today in our hip flexor, in case you were wondering which muscle groups are targeted. Oh, my leg's tired already. How about yours? Ooh, these are tough. These are tough. Sit up and rest. There we go. All right. Find your positioning and lift up, up and over. You could set a weight there and go up and over the weight. Up and over your coffee cup. Yeah, there we go. Keep working. Keep working. There we go. Lift. And bring it up. Take a breath. And we have one more to go. Okay. Up. 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 I see you just had a phone call come in. I forgot to shut that part of my phone off, so that might show up on your screen. Unsure. We're hoping it left the filming still on. We're going to get up and check that. And this is our last exercise on this leg. Are you glad? Oh my goodness. That's really getting challenging, isn't it? Yeah, that's a strong or a weak muscle on most of us. All right, just checking that filming. Okay, looks like we're still going. Yay. All right, we got one leg done. Are you ready to hit that other one? Let's take another drink. Think about it. Our timer is celebrating for us. Okie dokie. Here we go. Let's set up for the other side. Leg lift, 3 rounds, 30 seconds, 10 seconds rest. Leg out, heel up, knee slightly bent. Woo, resting on that hip, and up we go, and down. And lower. Lift and lower. Got a brand new fresh hip here. If the other one's feeling a bit exhausted, you know what? That's okay. We're going to stretch it out well at the end here, the end of our video today. Up, down, up, down. We're feeling it right there. That's our abductor muscle working to lift our leg away from the midline of our body. It abducts, it moves away. Exhale, inhale. Oh yeah, and that main mover is your gluteus medius right there. Ooh, you're feeling that, aren't you? I know I am. Round, other side always seems a bit tougher for some reason. Nice lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. And we rest. Take a breath. Exhale, flex. And let's pick up that last round here. Last round. Taking a rest if we need it, right? Taking a rest if we need it. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your small hip muscles be built in a day. Working that hip girdle. Hip girdle. Ooh, yeah. And we're feeling it work. Ooh. And we finished it. Did my form look pretty sloppy at the end? It felt pretty sloppy there. All right, coming on to hands and knees. Okay, I always forget I have to reset my timer. Okay, hands and knees, hands and knees. Donkey kicks, heels flex, tummy in to protect low back, and we lift up, down, up, down. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. There we go. How's your back? Keeping it straight, right? Remember, if this is a little too risky for you, we're going to get down on the forearms and access this movement from the forearms versus the hands and knees. Okay, take a breather. Take a breather. Okay. Set back up. Round 2. Ooh, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. As we get stronger together, we'll create more videos. Some with ankle weights, some with resistance bands. So if you don't have any of those yet and you're going to continue on with strength at 60, then maybe that's something you might want to order, look into buying. Sometimes we can really find good deals at garage sales. So don't be afraid to check around there for that kind of thing. Always get the deal if you can. Okay, last round. Last round of donkey kicks. Up, down, up, down. There we go. Are you feeling these? Feeling that glute muscle right at the top there where it connects into that low back? Oh yeah, strong low backs too. We're going to create it all. Great job. How are you feeling? Feeling pretty good? Ready to do some clamshells? I think we should. Let's move on. All right, 2 more to go. 2 more sets of exercises. We're bent at the knee. Knees are slightly forward. And we're just going to open and close. Open and close. Just finished up a round of PT. Discovered I have some arthritis in my neck. Discovered that as I did some research, 85% of people over the age of 60 have arthritis in their neck. Interesting statistic there. Probably higher on our younger crowd that has grown up with the phone in their hand. We at least got to have our youth without having that stuck in our hand. Up we go and down. So when we have arthritis in our neck, there's a couple things we shouldn't be doing. Crunches, for one. So if you are not a fan of crunches, guess what? This series, this Strength After 60 series, has no crunches. We've thrown them away. There's other stuff we can do. No need to do them and irritate our necks. No need. We'll find other things. Oh, keep working. Rest it down. We have one more set of those. Big breath in. Exhale. And another thing we shouldn't be doing if we have arthritis in our neck, which 85% of us over the age of 60 do, we shouldn't be doing overhead presses. Yeah, that also has the potential to really irritate that area. Yeah, but there's plenty of other exercises we can do instead that not only strengthen the shoulder area and the rhomboids, but also the neck. Yeah, so we'll get into all that too. All right, did I distract you enough that felt okay through that round? Let's reset our timer. Remember, we're working on that same leg, We're imagining our little brick or our weight there, or maybe we have placed one there. I'm going to lean back, take the midway position here, and I'm going to come up and over. Up and over. There we go. Coming up and over my imaginary object. Don't worry, we'll get you a good stretch there. It's coming right after this. There we go. Up and over. Up and over. Oh, round one felt pretty tough on that already. Remember, if you need to, lie down. If it's too easy, sit up straight. You choose your level. We're all at different levels. All at different levels. It's okay. We just want strong bodies to carry us through life. It's better to be the oldest person exercising on YouTube than the youngest person in the nursing home, right? Yeah, let that guide you. Okay, one more. Woo! Hip flexor gets weak because we sit a lot. Should be walking a lot, sitting less. Since I have officially retired from teaching in-person live group fitness classes, I found it's really easy to sit around a lot. So I challenge myself to try to sit no longer than 20 minutes at a time from the time of 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's a challenge. I do take time out in the afternoon if I'm reading a book, because that's just not sitting and scrolling. It's doing something active for my brain. Ooh, okay. We got you through that, right? You feel good? Ready for a stretch? We're going to switch that off. Switch back to our original timer and enjoy a few stretches here. So, looks like we're going to start seated, and we're going to draw our heels in as close as we can. If this causes our knees grief, we're going to take our legs out into the wide position, okay? You choose. Sit up tall, and then just lean forward a little bit. Okay. Check your spine. We don't want to be all roly-poly here. Check your shoulders. They're not up here. Keep them down and relaxed. Down and relaxed. We should feel a stretch in the inner thigh. Those are called our adductors. They move the leg towards the midline of the body. The opposing muscle group of the abductors. Alrighty, sitting up tall, we're going to slide those feet out just a bit so you have more of a diamond shape. Now we're going to get into that gluteus a little bit more, that gluteus medius. Oh, there we go. Again, we're leaned out. The spine can round a bit on this one. We're feeling a nice opening. Take a deep breath, feel it open farther. And exhale. 30 seconds of stretch. Feels fantastic. Now we're going to take, well, I'll take those legs wide. When we take the legs wide, we want the knees up, toes up, knees up, toes up. We're going to walk it out just till we feel a little stretch again in the adductors, inner thigh muscles. Yeah, flex those toes right back. Going to strengthen those muscles up. They help us a lot in balance, which is very important in our strength after 60 series. Straighten our back out a little. That was a little hunch there. Beautiful. All right, let's let that go. We're going to move on to our side now. I bet you're getting tired of that noise, huh? And we're going to stretch our quad. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that. You know that standing one where you're trying to grab your ankle and you're wobbling all over the place? That's great for balance work, but we want to get right into the stretch. So I want you to pull your knee up. I want you to find your shin, and then with your hand, guide your knee under your hip there, okay? I don't want your leg way up. It's just a natural extension out of your hip. Again, we're pushing the glute forward, and we're stretching that hip flexor and the quad, the long muscle that attaches to that. And then we'll flip over and do the other side. Alrighty, so just turn into the other side. You can turn your back to me. I won't take offense, I promise. Pull back. Okay. And again, we're going to squeeze through that hip joint, through that glute to press the hip joint forward. Stretch out those muscles that we just worked. So we had mobility in the beginning, we had strength in the middle, and now we have flexibility, hitting all those good things that we need for good muscular strength. Next up, we're coming to the hamstring. We're just going to roll over on our back for this one. Why not? Take the leg up in the air. Find either the back of your calf or your hamstring itself. You can do some ankle circling if you like here. Should feel a mild stretch in the back of the leg. Mild stretch, okay? If it's shaking, it's gone too far. Take the toe in the opposite direction. A little ankle mobility while our hamstring flexes and stretches. Beautiful. Now let's take a bend in that leg and cross it over. Since we're here right now, we'll go ahead and do the stretch deep into the hip. Now, we've pulled our leg up. We might feel the stretch there. If not, we're going to pull it in a little farther or even grab our shin to come in a little farther. Let's flex the feet on this one. And we're feeling the stretch right here through the whole glute. Very nice stretch. Very nice stretch. And one we absolutely need. Set that down. Let's take the other foot up into the air and pull in till we find the stretch we need. Once we've found it, we'll start rotating through the ankle. Ankle mobility is just so important. And then find a few in the other direction. Make sure that hamstring is still stretching though. That's our main target here. Almost there. Cross over, pull in, find the stretch you need. Remember, stretching to the point of mild tension, holding the stretch for 30 seconds. Breathing, flex feet. I have to remind myself of all this stuff too. It comes natural, but we can tend to get a little sloppy towards the end of the workout. So that's when we really need to get that focus in there on our form. We only have one more movement after this, and then you are done. Let's drop those legs down. I'm going to take them apart just a little bit here. And we're just going to take our knees side to side while our shoulders stay attached to the ground. Just loosening up through all those muscles we just worked. Should feel very good to you as we finish up our work for today. Windshield wipers, these are called. And we're just doing one 30-second set. Also good for our core, lower part of our core, which connects into that hip area. And we did it. Let's pull ourselves up. Pat ourselves on the back. We did a great job today. Thanks for joining me. How often should I do this workout? You should probably try to do this workout at least 2 times a week. 3 would be better to get you started, get those muscles straightened up. Once you have about 6 weeks in, you could probably cut that back to 2 times a week to maintain your strength. All right, great job. Nice work. Strength after 60, folks. And we'll see you next time on Simply Fit with Cheryl Sage. Don't be afraid to try something new.